Clark Munroe joining us. What's your exact title?
So the director of media, co-director of media. Me and Jamie Neugebauer kind of share that title. So
you're on the SJHL broadcast again tonight?
Yes, yeah. We were on the first two up in Flin Flon, which was electric, and we're here for the next couple here, and as long as the series goes, yeah.
Look at these Flin Flon bombers rolling in.
There's a ton of them here. Look at these guys. Yeah. Look at these guys.
Real interesting.
Mike Reagan and company. Hey.
Okay, so we got the Canterra Seeds Cup here.
Yes, beautiful.
How many years has this been in operation?
This is 3. This is its fourth championship.
Sturdy.
Yeah, it
needs to be.
You know what happened? It's funny you say that, actually. So as trophies do, they often get broken.
They do. Yeah.
So the first couple of years, the Melfort Mustangs had it the last 2 years, and Battleford's had it the year before, and both teams broke it in some capacity. So it has been reinforced. It's been sturdied. It's been a little bit made a little stronger. So you mentioned it's sturdy. There's a reason behind that. Yeah.
So the Flin Flon bomber guys are rolling in.
They must be having their pregame meal here.
It is, yeah. 3:30 was the call.
Connor Miller and the boys.
Yep.
There's because sometimes, have you felt this thing?
No, I can tell though. You're got to manhandle the thing.
Yeah.
There's some weight to it.
So.
Now, I have a different question about the trophy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've only got 3 teams on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the previous winners of other trophies are where?
Somebody asked me that the other day, and I actually don't know because we have had different trophies in the past. We've actually had a couple in the past decade or so. Different sponsors.
There was a Royal Bank one, wasn't there? Or
that would have been a while ago.
Yeah.
That's the national one.
Yeah.
Weyburn won that one, I think. Or Yorkton won that one in 2014.
That's the national one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before the Royal Bank Cup, it was called what it is now.
Well, it's the Centennial Cup now.
Centennial Cup.
That's what it was before.
It was Centennial back in the day.
Yeah, that's what whoever wins this series will head there.
Is there any thought to taking all those other names and attaching to the base?
There's been talks about it. I know for a fact that Kyle McIntyre has been talking about it, but we also didn't want to diminish the memory of what those trophies were. So I think the initial plan...
I wouldn't take those away.
Right.
Just
I think
add to this.
The initial plan was let's let this be its own thing and let these teams have their kind of stamp on it. But I think as it gets a little bit deeper into it, I think we might work on something
because it's always cool to see all the names of all the other players and teams,
you're right.
Through all the years.
And we have been asked that question. So, you know what? Kyle McIntyre is coming on with you guys in about, an hour and a half?
I'm going to grill him on that one. We'll put that one to the...
So are you the keeper of the cup?
Well, for a minute. For right now, I am.
Actually, you don't take it home?
No, I had it at my house. But no, I'll be taking it to the rink right after this hit. And it'll be set up there for the fans to look at tonight. So I only had it for the last about 48 hours. Kyle's usually... He's the everything guy. He's the keeper of the cup most of the time.
So it's in his basement in Swift Current?
Probably somewhere, yeah.
See, he takes it to the
range.
He
might put it on his mantle in his bedroom. Who knows?
Takes it to the range and smashes eggs.
I try not to ask questions too much.
Give me your assessment of how things... I watched a little bit of game 1. I watched most of game 2.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is here, but Charlie Tritt.
Oh, yeah,
he's
fantastic. He's over there somewhere. Yeah, he's right behind the camera somewhere.
For the Flin Flon Bombers.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Game 2, they did a great job of not testing him. They kept the puck away from him a little bit in game 2. The shots counts weren't very high. And if anybody's ever been up to the Whitney Foreman Flin Flon, it's a bit of a tighter rink. It's a bit of a smaller ice surface. Plus, everybody's right on top of you, so it feels even smaller. So these guys, you can see them. They're all monsters. Their entire defensive group, except for a couple guys, is basically 6'3" or taller. So when you got big guys out there on a smaller ice surface...
Takes up a lot of space.
Takes up a lot of space, right? So they did a great job, Flin Flon did in game 2, of really taking away a lot of time and space. It was a very physical game. Yorkton, to their credit, came out very physical in game 2 after game 1 was... pretty emotional, very emotional, I should say. A little bit undisciplined on both sides. There was 4 power play goals scored in game 1. Game 2 was a lot tighter. Margin of it for error was a lot smaller. But both teams were able to kind of... Flin Flon was able to do a great job at keeping Yorkton out of their own zone in game 2. So that's going to be what the big thing we're keeping an eye on tonight. Now that we're back in southern Saskatchewan, the ice surface is a bit bigger. It's going to be now, can Yorkton play to their game a little bit better? Flin Flon played their game very well in game 2. Game 1 was a mess. it was all over the place.
So would you say it's an offensive defensive struggle? We got a very high powered team in Yorkton and much more structured defensively.
To an extent, I wouldn't say that Flin Flon is necessarily like a defensive specialist team, but they are very physical. They are built around forecheck. They're built around taking away space in the neutral zone and not letting you get into their own end. They do that very well, especially at home. They've built their team to win at home. We even talked to a couple of the players. It's like, we know we're built to win at home. Now we just got to go on the road and do it on the road as well.
Interesting.
Special teams.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Game 1 especially.
Just, that it just can change a game. And I know the Yorkton coach was not impressed with, was it 7-2?
I believe so. Yeah. I think that
7
sounds
power
right.
plays for Flin Flon.
Yeah.
2 for Yorkton.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in his defense, Emery got kicked out of the game as well. Emery Olason for Yorkton.
Oh, why wouldn't a guy? I love it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say too, right? Like, he didn't do anything egregious. It wasn't like, come on, man. It wasn't like gross or anything. He just, asked a couple questions and got asked to leave the ice surface. So I talked to him after the game, and I won't say what he said necessarily, but he game 2, to his credit, he had his guys ready to play. They came out really, really hard. Yorkton did. And it just wasn't their night. It was Flin Flon's night. So after the game, Mike Reagan, who's just around the corner out there, he said, that's Flin Flon Bombers hockey. So we'll see if they can continue that
if tonight. They can carry that forward.
Yeah.
Hey, getting thrown out of a game is not a big deal.
It was the end of the game anyways.
Oh, yeah. What the heck? Yeah. You ever been tossed, Marty?
Not coaching.
I was going to say as a fan, maybe.
Rob Montaigne almost threw me out of the big spring tourney last year. It's like the first time I've coached since novice, and I almost got. So I was kind of happy. But then it was like everyone was like, you gave Rob a taste of his own medicine. That's why he didn't like it. No, it is what it is. I'm very curious on power plays, or I'm very curious on just special teams tonight. And Yorkton, guys, we've been around enough hockey. You're back at home. The crowd's going to be in it. The worst thing that you can do is give up one or
an egg. You can't have an egg.
It's death for 2.
Yeah.
You got to try and keep that momentum somehow.
And that's what Flin Flon did so well in game 1, is they scored like 4 minutes into the game. And that crowd there was, from that moment on, electric. Oh my gosh, it was deafening at times. So I expect with Yorkton, I know it's going to be a sellout plus. I'm going to call it a sellout plus from the sounds of it, is that they've sold out, and then there'll be a couple extras.
Like us.
Yeah.
You're right. We don't even have tickets yet. Just FYI.
Just sneak in the side, right?
Painted hand, here we come.
But I expect a really, really raucous crowd here tonight. I've seen it throughout the playoffs so far here in Yorkton. They've been doing great jobs getting the tickets sold, and the community is right behind this team. And the best part about this is it's a 7-game series, and it's in no way over whatsoever.
No.
But like I said, if Yorkton can do what Flin Flon did in game 1 and score early on, I would say look out. I think it's going to be a whole new ball game.
So Flin Flon, they throw the moose leg, right? Are we expecting something special here?
There is a moose leg in the city as we speak right now. Guarantee some Flin Flon fan has brought a moose one in.
And there's a ton of Flin Flon fans. Even in the hotel I got to here tonight, there was, I think, 8 in the lobby. Grandmas, grandpas.
All with their bomber gear on.
Hats. Yeah, they're all there. They're all here.
Did they have like little coolers? You know what's in that little cooler, probably.
I was gonna say, they didn't show me anything, but they were just checking in and stuff. So they'll get that stuff ready now from here on into game time for sure.
So it could be a moose leg tonight or a bag of pierogies.
I don't think they do it traditionally on the road or anything. No, there might be something in the locker room.
I think they did in where I remember last year. And Benny said they were on the road. Was it Melford?
Was it bad luck then?
Was it some? No, they threw. I don't know.
It could be bad luck.
Could be.
No.
Could be.
No. It's got to happen if it's in. If
it's in the building.
Like you said, I like the idea of some pierogies getting tossed on the ice if Yorkton wins this one tonight. I like that idea.
Some good shishlicky.
Yeah. And I'll be out there on the ice interviewing the player of the game for the SaskTel broadcast. So if you are going to throw pierogies, try not to hit me if you can. Yeah. That'd be great.
And a dish of sour cream would
bring
go
some mushroom sauce. I was going to say. Come on, do it up right. Bring the mushroom sauce. No, this is great. And I was going to say, these Yorkton, I think the one guy does look like the bus driver. We should interview that guy almost, because he's had a month here. He's at, like, I was
Estevan, Weyburn, Yorkton.
Someone should, if they haven't added it up,
Yeah.
They've had to,
Well, we said Jamie Neugebauer, to his credit, he was joking around that if there was a team in Minot, they would have found a way to play those guys too. There is a team, but not in our league, obviously. But
bring back the Americans.
I told Mike when we interviewed him to preview the series, I said, A, congrats on getting to another finals. He's been to 4 in the last 5 years. B, congrats on setting a record for distance traveled in the playoffs. Holy cow.
Because these are the 3 first. Like, they couldn't go further than this.
No, and they're all division rivals, these 3 teams, right? Which was just a testament to how good the Bungie division was this year with all 4 teams. Melville made the playoffs too. Yorkton played Melville in round 1. Thankfully, Yorkton didn't have to travel very far.
That's right. No.
Great for both of those communities. But all 4 teams in that division made the playoffs this year. It was a really strong division, and it's kind of shows, what throughout the playoffs so far, that it was the best division in our league this year. But yet we have 2 other divisions here representing, or I guess Yorkton's in the final for sure.
Jamie actually, Neugebauer texted in.
He texted in.
Said, looking great, Clark. Jake's struggling again.
Yeah. I was. I left the hotel. It was 3-3. So I guess
been wearing a SportsCage hat anyway. But
I know.
Whatever.
I thought about that.
And then it was called the Canalta Cup.
It was the Canalta Cup. Before this.
That makes sense. Where is the Centennial Cup this year?
Summerside PEI. Yeah, so it's a bit of a distance for a live on location for you guys.
That is nice.
It's a budget issue,
man. Like golf clubs are the first thing getting packed.
Yeah, for sure. Kyle's going, but I think he might be the only one. He might be the only one. And I know he's already got some invites from some folks out there to go golfing. So he'll be ask him about that because he'll have a story for you.
We got to talk budget. Yeah, we got to.
Well, you can go.
There's got to be some sponsors. There's got to be some sponsors out there. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Can we do a prediction? Do you want to do a prediction?
Me?
Tonight, or you don't want to?
I don't know if I should necessarily lay my neck on the line.
Is that allowed for what you're doing?
But you already give us a good prediction.
I can give
over
you
22, whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. I can give you my thoughts on how the game might go. Series overall, probably shouldn't do that myself personally, and I'll probably get roasted for like, oh, come on. But I think, like I said, Flin Flon got some really great momentum. They were able to kind of force their game style on Yorkton in game 2. Now it's just going to be all a matter of, can Yorkton get in here tonight back at home? They've been home cooking now for a couple of nights. They have an explosive offensive team, a dynamic offensive team, especially from the blue line. If you guys look at their blue liners, they actually lead the team in goals during the playoffs, Tommy Reese and Gavin Bartha. So if they can get those guys moving around and playing rover, they kind of play rover a little bit, and get their game established early on, I think they have a great chance tonight. And to get this crowd in, I think, is a big key for sure.
So you're picking the over for the 6.5?
Is it 6.5 is the goal?
6.5 is that what we're going with?
I didn't go to the sports book at the Painted Hand. I checked in, but you can set it. Set it.
They might have
something going on at the Painted Hand. I would say if any indication from game 1 comes into tonight with the venue change, then I'm going to go with the over. But if we see anything like game 2, either way, whether Yorkton plays that game or not, it might be a tight one. It might be a low-scoring tight one tonight. But it depends on the venue swap, how much of effect.
I'm still thinking Yorkton comes out on fire. I think they're up 2-0 10 minutes in.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no offense, Flin Flon.
We might have to play the 5 game, whoever we're sitting with.
That's right. Yeah.
Get some 5s going. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Taps, where we are right now, the sports bar on Broadway. I think Commish said we're maybe going to gather here later and move that third period of that Ducks-Oilers game.
Post-game analysis.
Well, I'll be there.
Yeah. It's a meeting.
Yeah, it's a meeting.
Late
business meeting, right?
We had to sit down and
production
discuss some things.
Right.
Maybe don't bring this guy because I'm sure it'll be rowdy in here because there's a comedian. There's a comedy night. As well here. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Nice.
Here. So, it's Yorkton, baby.
Everything's happening.
It's like New York.
It's
There's something
like New York.
every night.
A fun story, Jai Zawatsky, who's a 20-year-old forward for Yorkton, his older brother, Jarvis, is a stand-up comedian. So I don't know if he's back in town for this or not, but...
I have the gentleman's name.
You got it? Is it Jarvis Zawatsky?
No, it's Bad Influence. Nelson Mayer.
Okay. Not sure. I'm sure he's
it's
great.
His alias.
I'm sure he's great. That's definitely not him, but
not by the image anyway.
No, that's not him. But
I don't know if you missed it, but Pat Canadians, they're undefeated at Nationals' third win today, 7-0 over Waterloo. If people are just tuning in, they punched their ticket into the playoffs. They want to finish first. Tomorrow they got Quebec, the Cavaliers,
and then Kelowna,
and then the Kelowna Rockets.
Yeah. We're keeping an eye on that for sure. 15 SJHL alum on that team. So
is that
not
what
a lot, prospects.
Prospects.
So we're keeping an eye on it for sure.
Yeah.
Adam Montaigne had the shutout today. Liam Pugh got on the board because he's been so close. I was watching it on HN Live and just telling people again, they can go watch all the Pat C's games on HN Live tonight. Clark's on SaskTel Max.
Yep, SaskTel Max TV. Yep, live local.
Right on.
Yeah, it starts at it starts. I think the game's supposed to start around 7, so our broadcast starts right around 7. So tune in. Barney's might be on. I don't know. We'll see.
Second intermission. Come on, dude. Yeah,
Star of the show. It'll be good.
One of those sumo things.
You should maybe do your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, you can keep the hat on. I don't mind.
Hey, you're the last one to talk about doing
my
hair.
hair's ready.
Right. Yeah, you don't
ready
have
all
much
the time
work to do.
Clark, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
thanks for
appreciate
bringing
it,
this.
guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Trip down.
I'll have to take it from you though. Sorry
Memory
about
lane.
that.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
Give it
all
one
right.
good hoist before I take
It
it.
is almost indestructible. It is welded
It's the
together.
SportsCage.
They've done some good work.
If you're watching the stream at sportscage.com, you see it here. The Canterra Seeds Cup. We'll go to break. We'll be right back.